What's up, guys? We are back with another episode of Apartment K Podcast,
Episode 5.
episode 5. It's been a while since we recorded.
It's been almost like a month, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, we fell off kinda, but I'm ready to push out consistent content.
Yeah, that's the goal. We're going to try and do these on Saturdays and Sundays. Is that the
Yeah,
goal?
I think trying to push out, my goal is to push out 2 a week, but realistically, it's probably going to be 1 a week.
I mean, 2 a week I think is a pretty solid goal to have.
Right.
It's just a matter of like finding the time to do it because, I mean, we're both pretty busy, especially nowadays. I don't know. Like, that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like, I feel like we weren't as busy before, and then like things just kind of like picked up really quickly.
Yeah, for the summer and everything. I don't know, yeah.
I always forget that it's summer.
Officially summer. And especially my job being in like the beverage industry, I feel like summers are busier too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I feel like what's happened in the month? What's the update?
I mean, a lot of traveling for me.
Exactly. You're gonna travel again. We're going to Tahoe.
We went to Mount Shasta.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that?
I don't know, did we? We might have. I think that was the last thing we talked about.
I think that was the last thing. That was kind of like where we ended off.
Yeah. And that was a while ago. And then I went to Rochester for my cousin's graduation.
Yes, exactly.
Shout out to Mirabai. Love you, cuz. And that was pretty cool.
Boring. It's a dry ass town.
It's dry, but it was interesting because it's in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Upstate.
like upstate New York. So it's kind of like it feels like the South.
Really?
Yeah, like there's like very big open roads. People are really nice and friendly. Everybody like says hi and shit like that.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. I always thought like upstate New York was like a bunch of racist rednecks and shit like that. So
I didn't think it'd be that rural, yeah.
but I think also because it's like a college
Yeah,
town,
that's true.
they probably get a lot of like diverse kids coming in anyways. So it's kind of hard. Like, I feel like people who are racist because they don't see like.
Right. Did it give you like Alameda small town vibes or UC Merced, which is Alameda,
Nah.
to give context to people who don't live in Alameda? It's like a smaller town, you know? It's definitely a town. It's pretty booming. And Merced is very rural, like farm.
I mean, Alameda is like right next to Oakland and
that's
San
true.
Francisco, so
It's near Metropolis.
compared to them, it's a small town, but it's not like
That's true. That's
like
true.
this is like you fucking gotta drive like 30 minutes in either direction to get to like
Oh.
to anything. So
Rochester.
have you been to the South?
Wow. No.
So like in the South, like everything's just very spread the fuck
I
out,
didn't know that.
and
a lot
it's
of
like
land.
a lot of trees and just like fields and just like open space, right?
Interesting.
So it was like that, and then of course they have like the city area, which was dry as hell. We went to like downtown Rochester, which is where fucking is it Mark Twain? I think it's Mark Twain.
Random.
He like grew up there, and the other chick who fought for like women's rights and shit like that, like they both have like houses there, and
Oh,
there's
yeah?
a park with them like sitting together talking and shit.
Were they alive during the same time?
Yeah, they were like pen
Okay.
pals
I
and
was
stuff.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope I'm not
I
fucking
don't
that
know
up. I'm
much
pretty
about
sure
Mark
it's.
Twain.
I'm pretty sure I'm fucking that up. So don't quote me.
Yeah.
But there's like history there. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I didn't know. I mean, New York is one of the older states, so it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So that was pretty cool, and like I got to see like the house that the lady. I wish I knew. I feel so bad, but like she had like a house where she grew up and like lived her whole life.
Yeah.
So like that was cool. Got to go see that.
Wonder who it was.
I'll look it up later.
Was it like a women's suffrage person?
Yeah, like do you know any?
No. Yeah, I just know all of them.
I don't know. You're into stuff like that.
I don't know.
But yeah, besides that, like it was pretty dry, like the downtown area.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with, which is funny because I feel like the Bay Area, like all you need is land, and like the South and shit is like so much land.
Yeah.
It's like two opposites, but it's like nobody wants to live there, and like the weather. Not saying nobody wants to live in the South, but
The weather was pretty nice.
well, maybe New York, but I mean specifically the South.
The South isn't that bad either, though. Like if you go to
The weather, it's hella muggy.
it's like hot and humid, but
yeah, I could never.
I don't know. I feel like it's not that bad.
I don't think I personally ever live in this house.
Would you? I mean, do you like dry heat or do you like wet?
I don't like heat.
You don't like heat at all.
Yeah, like I don't like heat. Period.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like humid heat does like wonders for your skin.
Is that like Hawaii heat?
Yeah, exactly.
I
like
hated
Hawaii.
that too, and I
You
hate
hated
dry
it?
heat too. Yeah,
But in Hawaii,
I hate heat.
I feel like in Hawaii, like your skin was glowing and shit.
It was nice, but like I can't do humid. I just don't like heat. Anything above like 65 is too much for me.
Damn.
Like even this is kind of warm right now, but we have the heater. Maybe 70. Anything above 70 is too hot, and I don't like that.
That's hilarious.
That's why it's the worst time I'm living in the fucking climate change.
I feel like the majority of the world is like hot. Like we're kind of lucky living in like California.
Yeah.
Where for the most part the temperature is pretty
Totally.
pretty perfect,
It's hot.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, even with Mongolia, I mean, growing up, I remember it being very cold. Like I just grew up cold. Yeah, there was hot times, but maybe that's why.
Do you like cold weather then?
Yeah. You know, you
like,
didn't know that about me?
I mean,
All
guess.
day, I always said you can't. When it's hot, you can't take your skin off. Cold, you can just layer. You can get warmer.
Damn.
Like I prefer cold to hot always. I can't do hot. You didn't know that about me? That's why I can never move to Texas,
like,
Arizona, any of that shit.
I would rather have global warming than like the ice
You're
age.
tripping.
Dude, in the ice age, nothing, like everything
I'm
dies.
not saying the ice age, obviously. If I had to pick, maybe, I don't know. But like, I much rather, like, I don't like warm. I hate summer for that fact.
That's funny.
I hate spring. Like, I'm very picky. I like the rain and shit. It's annoying, but like, I much rather prefer cooler weather. Yeah, I can't.
I like
I hate being sticky.
I like Oregon weather, like cold and like gloomy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like,
I will say snow is annoying, like living in snow.
yeah. I don't know. Do you think rain is more annoying or snow?
Snow? Are you joking?
I think rain is more annoying. Like heavy
You
rain.
never lived in snow though.
I've been in the
You've
snow.
been,
though.
but you've never lived in the snow. Yeah, I've lived in the snow.
I can imagine like shoveling snow.
That's what I'm saying. Or just like leaving outside, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just hard. You have to like what's it called? Saw everything. Like
Yeah.
it's whereas like the rain you just need an umbrella kind of you can run to your car. Like you cannot just run to your car. Like I mean people die in the snows, you know what I mean?
That's
So
true. Nobody's dying in the rain.
you know, I mean people do got accidents, but like people literally die of hypothermia. Like the snow is no joke. But I do prefer it.
That's crazy.
Like I'm a little Eskimo.
Yeah, you are. You little Inuit.
But it makes sense where you came from. Like you went to like Senegal, like Africa. You know what I mean? Hotter climate. I grew up with cold.
I'm built for that.
You know, and I'm built for like cold. You know. Yeah, and it did get hot, but not like that in Mongolia. At least I don't remember it being that hot. It's only when I came here I was like, "Ooh, it gets hot."
But there's like a desert in Mongolia, isn't there?
The Gobi does, yeah, but
Does it get hot there, or is it still?
I
Like,
didn't go to the desert. Like I was a kid.
you never visited the desert?
No, sir.
Oh. Awkward.
I didn't. I don't know.
But yeah. So I'm actually going to Portland on the 1st. Today is the what's today? The 28th.
Yes. Sir.
Today's the 28th. So in a couple days, I will be flying out once again for another graduation.
I know it's graduation season. It makes sense.
It really is.
So
Which
you're a
is
sissy.
it's crazy because I feel like I graduated so long ago,
I know, right?
and now like my young niggas are out here.
Which is crazy because they were like babies,
Graduating.
not babies, but they were so tiny when we graduated.
They're basically babies.
They didn't call. Your sister wasn't there, huh?
No. They couldn't make it.
Yeah, you're right. Both of them. They didn't go to your graduation, but you went to both of theirs. You're right.
Yeah,
They
I know,
didn't
right?
either. Yeah.
I'm such a great cousin / older brother.
Older brother, you are. I like graduation season. It's always like a fun time for me. I haven't gone to graduations this year because I mean I didn't go to yours, but it's always a good time for me. Next year will be my brother's graduate from high school, which will be a big one. I don't know. It's always like full of like promise, you know, not promise, but what's the word? Full of like potential. Exactly. It's always so fun. And like these kids, like whether college or whatever, it's like the next step in life. It's like weddings, which I've never been to.
Yeah.
I always love like celebrations and stuff like that.
It's one of those things where like fucking like I hate them.
Do you?
Yeah, like
That's funny.
I hate weddings too. I think they're boring, but it's one of those things where like
But you probably only went as a kid. When did you go to a wedding as like
How's that any different? It's
Well,
so boring.
well, what I mean is like when you're an adult, you can participate in shit, you can drink, you're like more part of it. Whereas a kid, you're just kind of there as like your parents make you go, you know?
I guess.
That's what I think personally. Whereas like now your friends and shit is gonna get married, whereas I'm sure as adults getting married, you don't give a fuck. That's what I personally think.
But anyways, what I was gonna say is like it's the one time where everybody's just is
Yeah,
there.
exactly. It's nice.
It's like a nice like reunion. You know,
Exactly.
without being an official reunion.
Exactly. And I really like that aspect too. And it's just, I will say, like, the actual graduating portion of it is boring. Like, just sitting there listening for the fucking names. It's annoying, but.
Why does everybody have to give a speech?
At graduation?
Yeah, like 6 people give speeches.
Oh, that's not everybody. It's like main people who give speeches. Like, they have commencement people.
Not every, I mean, like, there's usually a stage with, like, random people that you've never seen. Right, they'll be like, "Oh, like this is the."
You're so funny. I love the graduating speeches. That's one of the things I love about it. To me, it's so inspirational. I hate when they're calling out the names, especially if it's a big school. But I love it because they specifically pick certain speakers. I don't know if you knew that yearly. Yeah, I love it. That's so funny.
I don't know. I could go without
the pomp and the circumstance is what I live for because it's always inspiring and I forgot who was our graduating, but I remember Michelle Obama was the first UC Merced one. And I was like, those bitches are lucky.
I don't even remember who the fuck mine was.
I don't remember yours, but I remember mine was like this author. I don't remember his name, but it was dope. Like, it was a very, like, I don't know. Those shit get to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea, but like, when you're there, it's just like, yeah. Like, just give me the piece of paper.
Yeah. I didn't feel like
I think also
you even get the paper that day.
Also, like our graduation was outside.
Most graduations are.
Fucking Mirabai's wasn't.
Because it was probably small, right?
Yeah, but they had like a big it was like a big stadium and it was inside.
I prefer outside graduations. You mean Alicia's was inside? It just gets too hot, and like outside you can at least.
Oh yeah, but she went to East Bay, right?
Because it's big.
Their goddamn auditorium sucks.
Exactly. It's better if it's a smaller school, but.
Yeah.
I like outside because, like, I don't know, you can just walk away. Whereas inside, you have to wait for everyone to leave.
If it's not hot, that's my point. Like, I remember Merced sitting there, like, in the fucking sun. I was just like, this is a terrible idea.
But all those schools are huge schools, huh? So we kind of had to have it outside. I can't imagine what auditorium would.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool season. And then, like, summer is also a season of, like, I think weddings. Even though no one's inviting me to a wedding, I'm like, hello. Rude.
Have a lot of your friends been having, like, weddings and shit?
You know they have. Like, 2 of my... I'm not that close with them anymore, but neither of them invited me. I'm not going to say who.
That's funny.
I mean, we're all getting to the age that everyone's getting married and, like, having kids. But then, like, when shit like that happens, like, I don't blame them. I think, like... about myself, and I'm just like, obviously, like, I haven't been there enough for them to feel like I'm significant enough in their lives, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like if you grow up with somebody, you kind of get a pass, you know? Like, I have friends.
I thought so.
I have friends who, like, I'm not the closest with anymore, but
you expect an invitation, right?
I would, yeah, like, I would at least extend the
Thank
invitation.
you. My childhood best friend literally was like, oh, we haven't talked in like 2-3 years. Like, why would I invite you? And I was like, oh, you're right.
The fact that she said that is
not like that, but like, she kind of just said that. And I was like, I guess. But also nowadays, it's price as well, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but then how I see it is like, what I think the polite thing to do is, like, obviously that person's going to bring you a gift. It should, like, kind of match up, you know? Like, what I mean is, like, yeah, those people have to pay for that person's I invited's dinner and stuff. But I would have brought a nice gift. I don't know. I was kind of her. I was kind of about her. But
I feel you. But you also are, like, a notorious cat.
Yeah, so, not with her.
No.
Like, we don't really know.
Okay.
But, like, I just thought because we were, like, childhood friends, you know? And, like, I knew the guy and whatever. My other college friend is, like, she doesn't even live in the state. I wasn't surprised. She didn't even invite her roommate, so I was like... Whatever.
Right. I don't know. It is what it is.
It is what it just makes you realize you're not as important in people's lives. Or you didn't... Not even, like, I thought it was important in people's lives, but you kind of didn't make it as much of an impact as you thought you did. But I'm trying to think, if I got married, I would extend an invite to my old friends, like my old best friends. I would just invite. Like, one of my old friends, like, who was one of my besties in middle school, I haven't talked to her, not even in high school, really. She invited me to her baby shower. Mm-hmm. I should have sent her a gift. That would have been the classy thing. I didn't, but I like the invite, you know, I respected that.
Yeah.
And, like, if I get married or have, like, a ceremony, I would invite her, obviously. You know?
Yeah, even though she didn't invite you.
No, not her. I'm talking about the girl who invited me to the baby shower.
Oh, okay, I was like,
yeah, not the other girl.
How big of you?
No, I wouldn't. For what? That's a waste of an invite, you know?
Right.
So, I don't know. So, like, we talk about this, how you don't want to have, like, a ceremony. Like, if you don't want to have, like, a wedding. I totally do. But I think it's a very, like...
It's for the, like
a
women
girl,
want that shit.
yeah, exactly.
But for me, it's like...
No, some men want that. Some people want, like, a celebration.
I'm sure some men do. But for me, it's like... But it's not even, like... I just don't like all that attention. Like, I was watching something the other day, and it was like... Or no, the homie, it was on my friend's story. He was at somebody's wedding. And I was just like, that's so awkward to like be the attention. Center of the like, and then people are always like, oh, congratulations. And like, they all like, it's just like so much. Like, I wish I would be down if I could like do it and then have like a surrogate stand in for me and like do all the schmoozing. And then
I
like,
wonder
I'll
why
come
you
in.
don't like the attention.
Because it's like, I don't want to.
It's not like it's like weird, but like you get to pick who you get to invite.
Yeah, but it's,
you know?
I don't know. For me, I'm just like, yeah, like, it's whatever. Like,
that's weird.
I guess.
No, that's honestly weird. Like, what does it make you feel? That what do you not like about it?
I just don't like being the center of attention. Like,
weird.
I know you do, but like,
no,
not everybody feels the same.
Yeah, no, of course. But I'm trying to think because like you were an only child, so I wonder if because you were always the center of attention, you know. So you're just like, I don't want all these people paying attention to me.
I guess. Maybe.
I really wonder like where that stems from.
That could be it.
That's interesting, yeah.
But I don't know. I think weddings in general are like for women, you know. Like I bet if you ask like 10 dudes, like, hey, are you excited for your wedding? Like most of them are gonna be like, no. Like, like it's just not like a thing for guys, you know.
No, I feel it. But I do want to find like that right. I feel like I do get you in that sense, you know. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's like, oh, you love your whatever enough, you know. I hope I find that man one day.
One day.
And I feel like necessarily like some people don't want weddings and shit, you know. But like it's very cultural too. Like in India, they have like a week-long wedding. Imagine that.
That's crazy.
I know, right? Which is cool. Like I don't even know what the Mongolian like cultural wedding is supposed to be, to be honest. Cause funny, and I think that's why probably I'm more into marriage and shit too. Cause my family, like nobody really had a marriage. My parents were like a whatever ceremony. I think my uncle and aunt did get married before I was born, but like I've never been to a family ceremony or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, which I'm just like, come on, family, get it together. How has no one been married? Couple of people, cousins in Mongolia have, but like in Mongolia.
That's in Mongolia, yeah.
Yeah, so I really haven't. So I'm like, dude, I want one for sure.
Maybe one day.
Not maybe, like I know I want one. Like it's gonna happen.
Anyways, fucking. Besides not podcasting, we also haven't been going to the gym.
Well,
or doing our 75-day hard. We failed on that as well.
No.
We just been fucking up, man.
We have.
But,
I don't think I've been having it that bad. I still been doing my work. Like, yeah, diet-wise, probably a little. But, like, I still been working and, like, I don't think I've been that inactive.
Yeah.
I don't think you have been either. But it's just a couple
of
days. Like, it's the drinking and the weed more so, if that makes sense.
But going to the gym is different than being active. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Like, just being active is like, you should just be active.
What do you mean?
Like opposed to being inactive, like just being on the couch all day. Like, yeah, like you should be active. But when you go to the gym, it's like you're going there with the intention of like building muscle or losing weight or whatever. Like, it's just different, I feel like.
I don't know. For me, because I'm on my feet for like 7-8 hours, which I'm hitting like 15 to 20K steps. I'm like, that is my workout of the day. Yeah. Whereas like he'd be trying to make me do all that, and then he'd be like, oh, let's go to the gym and do all this shit. I'm like, dude. Whereas like our jobs are a little different, I feel like. Well, I was gonna say when you're doing your day job, you are on your feet, but like whereas I'm on it for extended amount, I think you're for like 3
but I'm
4,
lifting shit
and you're like driving.
It's different though, because like
you know?
when I'm like at the fucking warehouse or whatever, like I'm lifting heavy ass boxes.
Me too, like cases, like I'm running around, you know, same. Probably more than you, whereas like you have to do certain or your inspections. I feel like you get out of your car but you go back in, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas like I'm on my feet because like I'm telling you, I track my steps, and I do like literally 15K steps at work. I'm like, damn, it's crazy.
That's a lot, man.
It's a lot. But I guess being a server, it's like you're just on your feet all the time.
I don't know.
I need better shoes.
I miss it. Yeah. I miss feeling the burn, baby.
I don't know what it is. I just kind of lost my motivation. I need to like get back at it again. This always happens. I like go for like a month or two, and then I lose my motivation.
I feel like once you go back though, if you go,
but the thing is, I'm
days,
just not in that mindset right now, and I hate it. I just need to get myself, you know.
Yeah. What do you think would help?
Usually, I watch a lot of like fitness TikTok people. I do, and it honestly helps. Like seeing somebody do it and like seeing somebody look good, you know.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Right? Yeah. Just to get yourself kind of pumped for the workout in the day. I don't know. It's probably my little... I don't even know what it is. Something shifted in the universe. I'm serious. Like, there was like a 2-3 month period I was doing really good. And I'm just... And even my little therapist person, because I talk to them once a month, and she was like, you sound different this month. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what happens.
I don't know, man.
Human nature.
Mercury's in the microwave again.
I don't know if I believe in all that shit. I just think it's like easier, you know, not to, obviously.
It is easier.
And it's easier just to be like, whatever.
It's easier to just be a piece of shit, you know?
Yeah, you know? Like, that's the hardest, that's with everything, what I realize. Everything is just harder to take the first step, you know? Like, whether it's like getting yourself to go to a job.
Yeah.
And then it just makes me think, all the people who just, we have friends who just like, don't really have jobs and just making it. I'm like, how do they do it?
That is the $1 million fucking
But I
question.
guess you have to be kind of content with just, not necessarily succeeding, but you have to be content with just where you're at, you know? I think that's what it is.
I think...
Because I think about that a lot, and I'm like, I could just go back to my parents' house.
That's...
I can't. I can't.
Yeah,
I
like,
couldn't. I don't really have that option, but you know how some people do?
Yeah, I mean...
I'm jealous.
I feel like we're both pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
That, like...
That's true.
Even if that was an option, I don't think...
we would choose that.
Yeah, like...
That's true.
Even if my parents are like, yeah, it's cool, you can come live with me rent-free, like, just, you know, go to work and hang out, like, it's no big deal. Maybe, like, even if I would do it in order to, like save money and, like, like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't just live
permanently,
there. Yeah, just like, oh, well, you know, I have a place to stay. Like, fuck that.
Just to be content. Yeah, I know, I get you. And I agree. But then some days I just be so tired, you know? And I'm just like, I don't know. But I guess that's what's life.
It's funny though, like, I get what you're saying.
You know?
But then I think about, like, you know, the Chads of the world. They're doing so much more.
Who is our boss? Yeah.
So it's like, I think about that. It's like, okay.
No, I know.
So what I'm doing, like, as tired as it's making me, it ain't shit compared to these people who are, like, running companies, you know?
That's what I was going to say. At least they're running their own companies. We're just That's what's been getting me these couple of days. I'm just working for these people. And, like, what my mom tells me, she's like, well, you're getting all this experience and all of that. And I'm like...
she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. And I know I'm just being impatient. But I'm like, I don't know. And not saying I get paid shit. Like, it's decent pay. I don't know. I'm just... And not saying I don't like my job, because you guys know I've talked about how much I like my job. I do. And it's not even my job specifically, but I just think it's like the whole job, that complex, you know? Mm-hmm. I think you're at this point. So I'm just at this point, I'm like, I feel like I don't have a day to catch my breath, you know? Like, tomorrow we have a day off, but, like, we're doing shit. And it's like, I don't know. I miss when summer and shit, like, you have a week off and you can just do nothing. And I'm just like, is this what adulting is? I'm just never going to catch a break. And it's what?
It's
like,
called vacation.
Kids. And even on vacation, like, I work on vacation. And, like...
But you kind of chose to work on vacation.
Or, like, even if I come back, I have to, like, there's going to be, like, 20, 15 emails I have to respond. So it's just, you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's just, you go until you die. There's no, like, moment of, like, let me catch my breath.
Well, I feel like that's
what I've been feeling.
That's just... You say that now because you just have a job, and, like, I don't think you are doing, like, as corny as it is, it's like you don't have, like, your passion.
Yeah, and that's what we've talked about. And I don't know my passion.
Well, I mean, you have your whole life to figure it out. Like, I don't think you should. People who have it figured out in their 20s, it's like, kudos, good for you.
Right.
Or people who figure it out like in their teens, like I want to do this, like that's great.
Yeah.
But for the majority of people, it's like you don't really know what you want to do until you go out there and try a bunch of shit, and that's what, in my opinion, that's what your 20s are for.
That's true.
So it's like I don't think you should like beat yourself up too much about it, but you definitely should look at life as like you should be like looking for or like keeping an eye out for it. You know what I mean?
And it's not me necessarily beating myself up. It's just like more comparison. It's like, and it doesn't help with this age of social media, and it seems like instantly people are getting money and famous. But I be seeing it, and I know again it's just social media, but I just be seeing people I know on my regular daily life who just seems to be like not enjoying their lives more than me, but kind of, you know, traveling more.
Listen, man. If somebody looked at your Instagram, they'd say the same thing. They'd be like, this bitch is always eating good. She's always in like some fucking random ass like scenery.
Right.
Social media is just fake.
You're curating it.
You're putting the best version.
Of course.
Like you're not gonna post a picture or a video of you like working at the desk. Like
I appreciate people who are like real like that. Who like, as much as we make fun of people crying and shit, I appreciate seeing that. You know what I mean?
It's relatable.
I don't think I could ever, just because like I'm just not that type of person, but I appreciate it.
But the point is, the majority of people aren't doing that.
Right, because people only showcase their tribulations, you know, not their trials.
Yeah. Because people want it to look effortless, you know.
Of course.
They want it to be like, oh, my life is so great effortlessly.
Right.
You know, like nobody wants to see the footage of like, you know, Michael Jordan shooting in the gym. Like some people do who want that motivation, but people want to they just want to see the game and see the nigga fucking be amazing, you know?
And I guess that's what people say. It's just, I don't know. It's influences. Nothing is, I wish they, and there are a lot who are very open about it, but I wish more were.
I mean, you just can't compare yourself to people either, because like some of these motherfuckers are faking it anyways, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so you don't want to compare yourself to somebody who's not even being authentic about where they are.
I'm telling you, I know people in real life who are doing good.
I'm sure. But...
And I'm just like, what am I doing? But I know your own journey is blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's just, I guess this episode is about not what I can do better, but I guess this is me saying like, life's hard and it's hard for me too. Obviously, I'm sure people know, but I don't know.
Life is hard, man.
Everything just comes at you always, you know.
That's what she said.
Stop. I just wish, I don't know. I wish you can like yell cut and people can just be people, you know. I feel like we're all just like this facade and we're like acting for this like show, reality, whatever, this thing we call life. And I wish we can just be like cut and just people can be themselves. If that makes sense.
This charade called life. You gotta move to like fucking Rochester, man. They're not faking shit over there. It's just some good old country bumpkins.
Yeah, and it's what you say. It's like the standards I set for myself, you know? I think I've just been lonely lately. I think it's this time, I'm telling you, like you said, it's the time of togetherness, you know? People are graduating, people are hanging out with their friends, and like, we're kind of done with that step in our life. So I'm just kind of watching everybody do all this shit. And I'm like, I think I'm just overworked. That's what it is.
It's funny you say that too, because like at these graduations, I'm always like, fucking enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy it while you can. Like as corny as it is, it's like savor that moment, because depending on your choices, this might be the best time of your life.
That's exactly what it is. Because there's so many people I know who are just living their best life. There's a couple of girls I know who live in the city, who went to school with us, just living their best lives. But again, it's just social media. I don't know what's actually happening.
You don't know. Like, again,
I don't.
If I lived in the city, I don't think I would be living, like, rent's hella high. There's fucking homeless people and shit.
They have good, I'm sure they have good money.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you don't know. They might be overworked.
I don't know. That's
like
the thing.
They're just showing you like the great parts. Like, you don't know what their life is actually like.
I don't.
Because a lot of people who work in tech aren't happy. You know what I mean? If you're just...
And there's so many layoffs. It's very...
Exactly. You have fucking... there's zero job security, really. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of bouncing back.
No, I was like, it's not zero job security.
During COVID, it was a little sketchy, but it's coming back. But fucking... You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah.
It's not always...
It's not.
Roses and rainbows.
And I know that.
It is interesting, though, because I feel like... as a kid, you have like an idea of what an adult is,
Mm-hmm.
and then once you become an adult, it's like, oh, like nobody knows what the fuck you're
Yeah.
doing. You know what I mean?
Or I guess what they kind of said it out in school is like just work your best, and they don't teach you that working hard and working your best is not it, you know? Like
Yeah.
I feel like just myself specifically, because like I've only known myself, like I feel like I'm a very hard worker, and I don't think that's what's gonna get me to succeed. And I hate that that's what society lies to you, saying hard work is gonna get you like the money, the shit. It's not.
Well, here's the
And
thing.
that's what's kind of like,
You
damn.
you need hard work, but that's not it. Like you have to be
Yeah.
smart. You have to have the right connections. You have to be able to network. You have to be
Right.
likable. Like it's
They
people
don't
act like
teach you all that.
people act like if you just give a job your all,
That's exactly what I
like
mean.
someo's gonna recognize you and just give you
You
$1
were
million.
just a cog in the machine.
Yeah, like hard workers. I forget what the fucking.
It's like-
the hard worker gets like grinded down the most or some shit like that.
Exactly.
So it's like in any job, if you have like 3 hard workers and the rest are just
Of
mid,
course, they're gonna want to keep you there. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? The hard
exactly.
worker. Yeah.
and they don't want you to fucking go. Like if they promote you, now they got to find another person to replace you.
Exactly.
So they're gonna keep your hard working ass in in the same position forever if they
exactly.
can. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what I guess what I'm realizing. Not that I didn't know that before. I was really realizing. It's like, and I always knew this. Like the good guy doesn't win in the end. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You have to finesse and like I don't know. It's just
You gotta finesse, man, or just you gotta find a way to make yourself like more valuable. You know what I mean? Which I think
Yeah.
is what you're doing now.
yeah.
Like I feel like you're more valuable as a fucking personal assistant,
Executive.
executive
I'm not a
assistant.
personal
Sorry,
assistant.
whatever. Like
It's a very different thing, actually.
I feel like you're more valuable doing that
Yeah.
than like being in the lounge. You know?
Of course, no, same, yeah. Whereas like my mom always says like that's office job, whereas like the lounge of serving shit is more like hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
But again, it's like with tips and shit, you make a lot more.
I do make a
than
lot, yeah.
salary. So it's like
Exactly.
it's a dual. You know what I mean? It's like, well, which one do you want?
Yeah, and then like I'd be stressed for like our company too, because I feel like they're like our owners are good people, so I'm just like I hope we make it, because I feel like good people and good I like, you know what I mean, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like the fucking, like the Johnson and Johnsons make it, not the fucking like herbalist next door. You know what I mean?
Right.
And not even the herbalist, but like I don't know. And I guess that's where I'm at, and obviously I'm not like, oh fuck my life, like I'm gonna blah blah, you know. I guess I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'm just trying to become more like thicker skinned, if that makes sense, because I'm a very like empathetic. I feel other people's pain and all that shit, and I'm just like, not that I shouldn't be nice to everyone, but I shouldn't care about everyone, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you know, and you know me, I'm a very like, I want to help the world, that type of person. So I don't know. It's just a lot of self-discovery, self-growth, blah, blah, blah. I hate it. I just want to be a kid again. But I also love it. It's fun and exciting. Like, despite everything I'm all, like, I'm bitching about, you know? It's just, I don't want to hand out, but I wish I had a little bit more, like, help. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like, I wish I had I wish I had financial help from family, or just, I don't know. You know what I mean. It's like I have to make it, if that makes sense.
I think if you look at the trajectory of your life, it's only gotten better.
Yeah, it has.
So
It has.
you know, it's only going to get better.
And I think I'm just hard on myself because I'm not where I want to be at, you know?
Where do you want to be?
I don't know. That's like kind of personal because I'm a paper, you know?
Yeah.
Not like career-wise. I mean specifically just in my personal life.
I feel that.
It's
I feel
just a
that.
lot. But I'm going to do it.
You
We're
got
all going to
this.
do it. We got this. Yeah. But side note, another thing that we also partook in was saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
so-
loved it.
We're gonna try and start doing
Yeah.
like movie reviews too. Not sure if we should do them like standalone
Exactly,
episodes.
yeah. Because we do watch, we watch movies weekly, like new movies weekly.
Yeah, we're kind of movie buffs in that way.
Yeah.
But I think
it'd be fun.
Like, obviously we can talk about Guardians because we just saw it or whatever, but I feel like we should have them be standalone episodes, and we should also do it the same night after we see the movie.
So it's fresh. I agree with that.
So I think that might be something that we do as well.
I think that would be cool, little different content than just us in our lives.
That probably won't be weekly just because there's not, like,
I don't think so,
a new movie every week. But, you know, when the blockbusters come out, like, we're probably going to go see Fast 10.
We're going to do Barbie for my girls and everybody who else.
She will be doing Barbie.
No, we're going to do Barbie. We're both doing Barbie.
She will be doing the Barbie.
How am I about to talk about it by myself?
I don't know. You can tell me all about it.
I can't.
Well, fucking...
Then I'm not about to watch Fast 10. The fuck?
Okay.
You ruined it.
I ruined it.
That's a stupid movie.
Alright. It is a stupid movie, actually. Vin Diesel's a fucking semi-superhero. Anyways, Guardians of the Galaxy. How did you like it?
I really liked it. I was surprised because I went into it. I didn't really read a lot of reviews or anything, but a couple of people told me it wasn't that great. But I did go into knowing a little background that I knew was Groot. It's Groot, right? Mm-hmm. Groot's story. We're not going to go into...
Not who, Rocket?
Rocket, I'm tripping. It's Rocket's story. Hello. It's Rocket's story. I'm not going to go into, like, the specifics, man. It's dark. It's thrilling. It's a tearjerker. It's everything you want in a blockbuster, like a summer blockbuster, in my opinion. Chris Pratt, we don't love him. He could have been at the movie. Like, I don't care. We just personally.
I like Chris Pratt. How come you don't like Chris Pratt?
Do you not know? Like, he's a douchebag. He's a
douchebag.
He's, first of all, he's super, like, far right. He is married to Arnold Schwartz, whatever's daughter. He used to be married to that one actress. They had kids with some type of disability, and he basically, like, shunned those kids, and he always talks about, like, me and my wife have these healthy kids. Like, he's a douchebag. Fuck Chris Pratt.
I like Chris Pratt. I like his movies. I don't know about...
Sadly, those can't separate the art from the artist.
I separate the art from the artist.
That's what I just said. Yeah, I do.
I like his movies. I think he's a good actor, and I love him.
He's a basic white guy who makes funniest movies.
Are you worried about what he does in his personal life? You don't know him.
Okay.
Anyways, I thought the movie was pretty cool.
No, I like the movie. Besides, I just had to make that little tidbit. Unless people think I'm a Chris Pratt supporter, I am not. But I really liked the movie. Yeah, I thought it was not that long. That's number one thing that gets me with these fucking Marvel movies. It was 2.5 hours, but I thought it
didn't drag on.
Exactly.
Like, I felt like the pacing was pretty good.
It was great.
I could have done, spoiler alert, without, like, the flashbacks and shit.
What? That was my favorite part. The flashbacks made the movie.
It was cool, but it felt out of place for, like, that type of movie. Because if you think about the other two Guardians, they're very, like, silly and lighthearted. And I felt like they tried to make this one a little bit more serious.
And that's what I loved about it.
Which is fine, but, like, there's too many, like, I felt the setup for, like, the tearjerker moment.
I loved it. I like that they stayed further away from whatever the F Chris Pratt's character's name was, and focused more on the side characters, which I always thought was more interesting anyways than his basic story. And I know I'm being biased because I don't like him. Sorry. But what else? What else did you think?
The villain was cool.
The villain was dope. The black dude, right? That shit was. And
but the thing that I hate that Marvel movies do is, like, they'll have a good villain who has, like, a pretty sensible like motive for being quote unquote bad, you know, and then they always like they just make them go crazy. Like I feel like he was trying to, like, create the perfect world or whatever. Like, that was his whole thing. It's like, all right, cool. That's a pretty, like, noble, you know, thing to strive for. Like, I guess, like, if you are able to create life like that, like, why wouldn't you want to craft the perfect society? But then, like, he's like, yeah, but if I don't like it, I'm gonna destroy it after. It's like, well, Jesus Christ. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, like, you had me in the first half, and then you just fucking completely went nuts on it. But,
like, not spoiling at all, what I thought was interesting about it, because I think they were called, like, the third, whatever, the higher power or whatever. And I thought it was because I obviously read a shit about it. And it's interesting. He was, like, the supreme power. And they talked about this in the movie, how they've created like he's created civilizations and like different like planets, not planets, but like different, you know what I mean? And I thought that was so fascinating. Like they talked about how like he was the ultimate villain. There was no really like a redeeming arc or anything about him. He was just, he thought he wanted to make the perfect world. And he was like just, I thought it was, I don't know, I thought they did such a great job.
Yeah.
And just especially light spoilers, like just kind of the mutilation and what Rocket's friend animals. That shit was crazy. Like that shit to me was like almost a jarring.
So this is the thing that I didn't understand is why was he like cutting off parts of these animals and like splicing them with like robot shit, but on the world that he made, it was like genetically modified creatures. You know what I mean?
So I think those are not protecting it. Those were
the people. I'm not talking about like his goons or whatever. I'm talking about the niggas in the cage with Rocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's like, why did you?
So it's like
you think those are like? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So it's like Apple iPhone number 1. Those were that version. Whereas he was number 13, and that's why he was saying the 14 was perfect, and the 15 was the one they let out into the world.
Yeah.
So different versions. That's exactly what it was. Man, that shit like. Such a greatly done fucking movie. This could have been a standalone movie, just a Rocket movie.
Yeah, it could have been.
Like, if you're not even remotely into a Marvel or anything, watch this fucking movie.
But I also feel bad because like it should have. I feel like they should have made it they should have had it be like Rocket Raccoon instead of Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
They should have.
You know what I mean?
But people, I feel like it had to have been attached to the Guardians of the Galaxy because it's like, who the fuck cares about Rocket?
But now I feel like if they try to go into anybody else's backstory, it has to be like.
Well, I thought it was done. I don't
think
it
they're
is
doing
done.
But I'm saying like if
like a standalone.
If they wanted to go into like the history of Groot, it's like, well, now you got to be like
but
Guardians of the Galaxy
did
4.
Groot last one, no? Didn't they?
They didn't know. He just died and came back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm tripping. Yeah, you're right.
But
I see what you mean.
They're definitely gonna do another Guardians.
You think so?
They set it up that way. They got rid of Chris Pratt.
Oh, like somebody else would take it.
Like they're phasing it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing they're doing with the Avengers. They're like phasing out all the old motherfuckers because their contracts are probably done, and then they're gonna have like a new batch of like the new Avengers.
Well, I thought it was also gonna be like the different multi-dimension or whatnot.
Probably.
So then you can play around with anybody. I thought that was the fun part. Yeah.
Whatever combination of people you want.
Right. I don't know. I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I've been getting into it more just because, it's everywhere. I think it's the best Marvel movie. I'm going to say it.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm going to, for me, it's the best Marvel movie. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
I don't know. I think they're all, like, borderline cheesy, but...
What the fuck? I thought you were a Marvel fan.
I am a Marvel fan, but I just think, like, there's not, like, oh, this is the best. Like, because, like... You could say like Black Panther, but that's like so on the nose.
I was gonna be like, that's so basic.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like,
as much as I love Black Panther, like it was cool. I don't think it's my fave.
Fucking probably if I had to pick one, like one of the Spider-Man movies.
I knew you would.
But I like Spider-Man, so
yeah. I'm excited for the Miles Morales, the second one. Even though it had backlash because they
the
made
multiverse.
the kid lighter and stuff, light skin. Did you hear about that backlash?
They made him light skin.
They didn't make him light skin, but they kind of redrew him to be more like Latino opposed to more Afrocentric, even though he's Afro-Latino. Like fucking Hollywood trying to whitewash everyone. I'm sorry.
Trying to Latino wash him. How dare they?
I mean, his mom, I think, was like I don't know. I'm not even gonna go into. But yeah, so it's like, why did you redraw when we already had, And I think his like hair.
It's fucking it's like these, I mean, you might disagree, but I just know in that board meeting they're like, all right, like for this one, like let's give more Latino representation. They're like, yeah, yippee, and then they changed it. For me, it's like just stick to whatever you do. Like
that's what I felt.
Like I hate when people I hate when movies switch out actors too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
Like they're like, oh, this is Bob now. It's like that's not fucking Bob.
Yeah.
Like they did that in Iron Man.
Sitcoms all the time.
In Iron Man, the first one, it was Terrence Howard, and then in the second one, it was what's his name? Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
The second and third movie, it was him, and then in the Avengers, it was just they switched it from like a light skinned nigga to my nigga. You feel me?
I like Don Cheadle better than Terrence.
I like him too, but it's like I wish they had just had him in the first one.
I mean, Terrence Howard.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just I hate when they fucking switch. I hate that shit so much.
I think that was probably like a scheduling thing, but I hate that when they do that in sitcoms, like the fucking Fresh Prince, you know, dark skin on babe with light skin. They do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's pretty whack.
Modern Family did it great when they did Baby Lily with the toddler Lily. Modern Families, y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't. But yeah. So I'm excited. Before, like, I was in this weird mind, like, I don't know, I just be going through it. But I was just in this, I didn't want to like do podcasts and talk, but now I'm ready. Like, we're going back to the gym where I get all my inspiration. So yeah.
Yeah.
What's the word? Tune in for new, and we're gonna try to make it have different stuff. It's not just gonna be us like rambling all the time too. This one we're just kind of reintroducing, so it's a random one.
Yeah. I do want to start having like guests on.
Yes.
To talk about like different types of stuff too.
Maybe episode 10 or like.
I was gonna say episode 10, but if this is episode 5, it's
we
like
only have 4 more to do.
We have 5 more.
Episode 10 is only 4 more.
So on episode
That's
10,
what I'm saying.
okay.
Yeah, that could be a cool like
If
double digit. Yeah. I mean, I'm open, but I think that'd be kind of cool.
I'm down for whatever, honestly. Like, if it happens before that, fine.
I mean, yeah, if we have somebody.
I just know, like, our asses are so inconsistent. So,
Story of our
like,
lives.
I don't want to be like, yeah, episode 10, we're going to have someone on, and then it's like 3 months from now. You know what I mean?
I just said
like,
episode 10 because that's 4 to get, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know who we get on, but.
I don't know. Fucking probably, like, one of our friends or something.
Our friends are interesting. I'm just kidding. Sorry, friends.
Somebody doesn't have cool friends.
I don't know. It could be interesting. But, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Your girl has to go to work.
This has been a moment at the Apartment K.
You missed us.
Podcast. Until next time, people. And we out.
Goodbye, ASMR. Oh, we forgot to do if you listen to the thingy, and that's my favorite.
Oh.
Whatever, it's fine.